Supply, the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025.
Honourable members, the House will now resolve into the Committee of Supply to continue the consideration of the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Thank you. Honourable members, we are now in the Committee of Supply to consider the 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. And today is the final allotted day for the Committee of Supply on the Appropriation Bill. I therefore call on all members to be mindful of the time and confine your questions and comments to the policy of the service for which the money is to be provided as stated in Standing Order 64.3. Again, we continue from where we left off yesterday. We will continue where we left off yesterday on the recurrent budget support. Head 05, Ministry of Education and Human Resources Development. The question is that the sum of $72,753,601 for Head 05 stands part of the schedule. And perhaps because it's not comprehensively covered under the PAC report, I will take the chance to first of all ask the minister responsible to explain to the committee what the provision stands for, so that any comments or questions will be directed to the minister responsible on what he has just presented on that head in the budget support. So let me ask the Minister for Education to explain what is in the budget support for the ministry under head 05. Honourable Minister, before I give it to the floor to ask him questions.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Chair, for giving me the opportunity. All right, firstly, I would like to thank our development partners for their continued support, especially our two major partners, the DFAT and MFAT. Basically, the MFAT and DFAT, they are new budget support now. What they call the ESSP has come to an end at the end of March this year, and a little bit of rollover is still there. That's why we are still using the rollover of funds that are still available, that currently supporting our education, especially curriculum support and also data management. Our new SET program, which is under the Australian government. The SET means secondary education support. That one will go towards building of new infrastructures, especially infrastructure that is being identified by our ministry, and that is under the SET. And the New Zealand support program will help support the teacher management, the CMIS, or the information management system for our schools, EPs, and data management within those schools and EPs and other areas like that. So these are the three areas which under the donor support funding. The new one for the SET program under the ministry, also DFAT, and also the new support from the New Zealand government to continue to support our education. Also under the SET program from the DFAT, it's also supporting the SINU in building the new teacher laboratory for training of our new teachers, for the labs, for their teaching trainings. And that's one of the need that we have identified, especially for our teachers, new teachers, preparing them for their teaching career as they finish of Sinu. They're prepared under those labs before they can go and do their actual teaching out in the field. So these are the support that has been under our budget, under the DFAT and the MFAT. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any questions specific to the presentation by the Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just on the construction of school facilities, classrooms and also, what's the process for evaluation for identifying and whether communities shall apply come? Is that the same process managed by the ministry or this separate process for OGATA donors? Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader. Yes, basically under the SET program, we have identified the bottleneck of our, especially at the senior level. So the ministry is identifying strategic areas, schools, like we will be building 8 new classrooms within Honiara and Malaika, West in strategic, so that we can open up those, especially for senior. So the ministry is identifying under the education framework and the NIAP, through those donors, they have to come and prioritize along with what ministry has identified. So we have identified, and they have to support through our priorities. I think that one has been made very clear to them, that you have to come and follow what is our frameworks are and prioritize supporting the needs. So the need here now is, the infrastructure here is those senior infrastructure like classrooms, dormitories. Basically, those are the two main ones, and also laboratories and specialized buildings. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. What criteria was used to identify those bottlenecks? So you decide it should be this school as opposed to that school. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader. What basically that gives us is we look at the schools, the number of large dropouts, and the intake. So we look at those numbers that have been going through exams, the biggest schools, and the number of dropouts, and that we try to accommodate those. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments on that head?
Just on that, just a follow-up. Thank you. I am unable to see how, okay, you've made, you think, some strategic choices for overcoming now bottleneck here, but 8 classrooms, me looking also me no addressing the need. So I'm wondering, just to give a sense of perspective, how many classrooms now you may actually need in here to overcome this bottleneck, so a more seamless transition to completion of high school, right through to senior. How many do we actually need to overcome this problem? So it gives us an idea whether 8 classrooms a year is an adequate response. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader. Yes, this SET program is an 8-year program. So the first 8 classrooms is for this year, and it will be rolled out every year, going for the 8-year program. So under the DFAT, we look at the seniors under this support, and our DB continues to support other areas in terms of the community schools and all that. So that's why we are working on looking at 8 years for these 8 classrooms, and then next year it will be identified some more classrooms, and then for this 8-year period. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Giriholt.
Yeah.
One more comment, please.
Yeah, thank you. Perhaps the officials could do some calculations for us. This issue we will revisit at the time of Imakamlo development budget. Give us a sense of how many classrooms, if we had all the resources, how many now you should build in per year in response to the population and population growth. And then how much now you do IMSA level or development budget, how much now donors are supporting us. That way we can see light at the end of the tunnel. Right now, you build in 8, I have no idea whether, the backlog is, we assume is great, not to speak of the population growth. So we don't know whether you are overcoming this challenge or, we're window dressing. So have some calculations ready for development budget informed committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader. Yes, absolutely. Your points that you have raised is well taken. Under the ADB program we're taking on next year, we'll be working on our inventories, and then we will get those up to date with our classrooms and all our inventory for all our schools intake. So thank you for your recommendations and observation.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Chairman of VLC, MP for West Arare.
Thank you, Chairman. Lo consultancy fees, yeah. Hemi lo kata Waitman consultants or locals as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader of Bills, Chairman of Bills and Legislative. These are local contractors that you may take them on board to do data inventories for our data management assistants, locals. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Chair, DLC.
Thank you, Chairman. With regards to the audit fees there, that's for the Auditor General or internal audit within the ministry or provided by those donors of this budget support. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Bills and Legislative. These are my ministry will work with the Auditor General to audit the ESSP funds that have been used over the years. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Let me now put the question. And the question is that the sum of $72,753,601 for H05 stands part of the schedule. Those in favour, say aye. Those against, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $72,753,601 for H05 now stand part of the schedule. Next head for consideration under the budget support is head 06, Ministry of Finance and the Treasury. The question is that the sum of $4,649,338 for head 06 stand part of the schedule. Again, the approach here would be, let me ask the Minister of Finance to explain what is provision for under the budget support. And any question thereafter will be directed to what he has presented. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. This budget support from World Bank IDA grant mainly have me cover 3 components. Component 1 for National Statistics Office for institutional strengthening program. Component 2 me for Office of the Auditor General, strengthening capacity to enhance service provision, especially covering the consultants. And then component 3, project management unit, mainly the activity for helping the local financial management consultants in relation to this component. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments on the Minister's presentation? Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This fellow statistics division now, he like for ask for long follow-up strengthening program. We have struggled to, and this has been a struggle for many years, for really get a grip on employment data, the number of jobs created, number of jobs lost for whatever reason in the economy. And central bank and finance have continued to rely on proxy data from contribution account law, NPF. We know that that is not the full picture. And so, by having good for this whole program, try and addressing that issue. The other is the matrix, well, the variables that inform the inflation calculation. It's always been a bit of an enigma to me, sir, that, you know, time inflation him go low, you expect them that households by no struggle too much, but no matter go low, households bara struggle, disposable income of people, them subsistence, but by what a struggle, and inflation him go up, of course, what struggle too. So somehow the inflation measurement hemino bara were truly representative yet longo the impact inside low households particularly. So I don't know technically what has to be done, but by him good for statistics to look at what they do to come up with that figure, and perhaps some consultation with finance and the central bank to come up with some equations that are more reflective of actual situation where households below me are feeling in terms of costs. I like the progression or the progress that has been made in terms of low inflation, in terms of measuring inflation, low different centers across the country. That is good. But again, a realistic reflection along or get the figures here by any very helpful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. And I do thank the Leader of Opposition for highlighting some important gaps that sort of in terms of how we continue to report, and these gaps that's important, especially when we come up with our statistic that will also help in terms of our planning and of course how we allocate resources. Of course, Chair, for 2026 we continue to roll out the MIG with this multiple indicator cluster survey, and that one by HEMI cover these areas which is for collecting data on health, nutrition, education, soil protection, water and sanitation, human capital, and the overall well-being, especially with children and women, and that by HEMI have this ongoing work that HEMI doing under this program. The other thing, of course, also the leader HEMI highlighted, strengthening national capacity in data collection, in processing and analysis, and of course, reporting. That will be help us in terms of a kind of evidence-based information, especially that can help us in terms of even resource allocation, and of course, working closely with CBSI in terms of how we can, especially the fiscal policy and monitoring policy, can work in addressing this. So yes, we note the kind of gaps that sometimes have even not helpful in terms of how we could put resources on this area. So something that is important. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Arare.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Minister. So I understand this one is from IDA grant. Just wanted to ask whether it's one-off or it's a multi-year program. Thanks.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you. Mainly for this program, we target for next year. In fact, this IDA grant, of course, moving forward, as also some of the recommendation in terms of how we deal with fundings, especially from multilateral institution here. We really want to focus more on areas of growth, but anyway, especially infrastructure. But this is depend so much of how we roll out the program, but this mainly for next year. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Let me now put the question. Sorry, Honourable.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for your indulgence. Minister Mino Heremiu Kutlotamiu Kim Anselo, leader of the opposition, in terms of the employment that it has been a need that has been aired over a number of years now. Is there going to be priority? Because of the French Brahmi donor partners, they've been sort of very positive. Meeting you request ko come funding project Minister. Can we have it for 2027? If you have keep some positiveness law committee about this important data collection law at the employment premium. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. And, I do thank my brother, the Chair of BLC, and of course, MP for West Harare. Yes, to assure the committee chair, in fact, what we are going to do now to come up with our clear priority so that when we request support, it targets our, especially on the areas of gap that sometimes really help us in terms of decision making or even resource allocation. So yeah, that's a way forward for us in terms of we request to address our need rather than sometimes come with the programs which sometimes not really to address what situation the team faces. So yes, me as well.
Thank you. And with that response, let me put the question. The question is that the sum of $4,649,338 for Head 06 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $4,649,338 for Head 06 now stands part of the schedule. Next head for consideration under the budget support is Head 09, Ministry of Health and Medical Services. And the question here is that the sum of $53,685,425 for Head 09 stand part of the schedule. Again, let me ask the Honourable Minister to expound and explain what these provisions are to covering under the budget support for the Ministry of Health.
Thank you, Chair. May on this, first of all, me like for sincerely acknowledging our donor partners, where what are contributing now, we have appear bill 53,685,425. Let me sincerely acknowledge DFAT, so two programs or to follow budget. No more have covered this one in a summary, Chair. In the National Health Program budgetary support, let me acknowledge DFAT for him contributing now 11,090,348,000, which is 31.7% of the whole amount. Let me also acknowledge the United Nations Population Fund, where he contributing $1,504,874, which is 44.3% of the total amount of the budget support. Let me also thank the WHO for the support of $9,847,110, which is equivalent to 28.2% of the total amount. Also UNICEF, $11,805,941, which account with 33.8%, and PFA, Family Planning Australia, 38,000, which is 0.1% of the total, and Hunter New England, Australia, contributing $649,153, which is 1.9%. Those are budget support that go now for National Health Programs Ministry, which is equivalent to $34,935,426. In terms of provincial grant budget support share, these are all covered by the DFAT. With them now, Solomon Islands Australia Health Partnership that we signed last year with them, Pat Controy. This one, he go for Malaita, where he $4,525,916, where 24.1 now out of the total. Lomalaita, basically for running primary health programs and also for supporting now Aitoifi Hospital and also Aitoifi School of Nursing. Makira, $1,604,441, which is equivalent to 8.6% of the total budgetary support. This one mainly for primary health programs, below Makira Health. Western, $3,767,884, which for Western Province, low budget support, equivalent to 20.1% of the total budget. This one also for improving now primary health care services, and also for supporting to Helena Goldie, and also Helena Goldie School of Nursing. Me also take him update that the construction worker opposition of one of your question leader that you ask him, construction worker him start, and him now or the support they go towards Low Western Province. Low Isabel, $1,298,337, equivalent to 6.9% of the budgetary support, again for primary health programs, below Isabel Province. Central Island Province, $1,107,248, which is equivalent to 5.9% of the total budgetary support. Again, it's also for primary health, below Central Province. Below Guadalcanal Province, budgetary support from DFAT as well, $2,763,014, which is 14.7% now out of the total. Lotemotu Province, $1,155,610, equivalent to 6.2% of the total budgetary support. Again, this one come from DFAT as well. Choiseul, $1,254,601, $61, 6.7% out of the total budgetary support. Again for water health programs below Temotu Province, and specifically for primary health care delivery. Choizo, hemi $1,254,061, which then hemi equivalent to 6.7% out of the budgetary support, where Choizo again for provincial health programs, specifically for primary health care. And then Reynolds and Bellona, hemi 314,276%, which equivalent to 1.7%. And HCC budgetary support, it's equivalent to $959,176, which is equivalent to 5.1% of the total budgetary support. Inside the provincial grant support, Chair, they are all funded by DFAT, which is equivalent to $18,749,999. So looking into the overall, DFAT may contribute to $29.7 million for this year's budget support. Again, Chair, I want to sincerely thank you to the people of Australia and their government for their support in ensuring that we continue to provide the primary health care in the provincial level. For the headquarter, I'm funded by WHO, that for $9,847,110, hemi for support team now, digital health worker, below Yumilo Ministry. Thank you, Chair, and that's the summary of the presentation for the budgetary support under the head 9. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for the very comprehensive outline of the budget support that is coming through to the Ministry of Health and Medical Services. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Was your CMC? Any budget support him come with him CMC, or is that now fully funded by us? I perhaps wrongly assume that PRC continue for support him. Where is that support captured? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. CMC, during handover, they really like us to fully finance and operate the CMC and the budget under NR heads. The budget head time we discussing recurrent. They give us the human resource training where they fully funded it under their embassy. So we only provide the candidate, and they are the one who finance the human resource training, and we don't have the budget support within our appropriation bill 2026. Thank you, Opposition Leader, and thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader.
Yes, thank you. So specifically, consumables for dialysis equipment, law CMC, that's also funded under law NRH. It just is, they are pricey, and it would be good to hold stock so that we never run out of it once people get dependent on it. Those machines need to be working. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Opposition Leader, for that heads up on a consumable for CMC. Last year, we not appropriated enough budget for the consumable for the CMCC, because we just launched it this year, and we have learned in this year, 2026, and that's why we are budgeting, 2025, and that's why we are budgeting under the NRH head to be ensured that we have our consumable on stock. Not only that, low dialysis, but also low cardiology too, or guide wire, and also where our expertise, our cardiologists should use. So it's not only on that department, but in my debate speech, me said that I want to make the CMC to be fully operational comes 2026. And I thank you, Leader, for your comments on us to ensure that we have a full stock of our consumables. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for Small Malaita and Chair of
Thank you,
our committee.
Mr. Chairman, CMC, but we want him for Minister, take him come on the paper for you debate him, or will him inform him house, one of them, because this is a very, very vital part of our health system. You may, Sunny, me kakara long time. We want to make full use of place here. Yesterday or the day before, we asked about staffing. There's about 100 positions that are vacant. But we don't know whether by me fill him up next year or anyway. I'm not, question is something me like for alerting minister no more for him to take him come paper for prepare so that we are prepared to take over the responsibility law upkeep law CMC. Question below me and me one for policy matter no more, Mr. Chairman. In our pursuit to hone in law the cost of providing medical services throughout the country. So me look long one and where you me celebrate, you me provide them go along with the lo you me lo here NRH plus what we are providing or some grants to the provincial health services blow you me. So me taking for example lo Malaita you me low budget blow you me, but you may give him about $8.5 million. Then on top of that, how much? $3.9 million we have budget support. Me want to say is that an indication law the cost of providing health services primary lo Malaita province, or are we still going to find out what now or some actual health cost or cost of providing health services, medical and health services at the primary level or throughout the country? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The cost per patient, in managing cost per patient, last year me and some law East Malaita, East Area MP, that's a question that's been raised here. It's around $499 US. So that's the cost when we quantify the cost of a patient. So if you simply multiply by the population of a province, you would be able to factor out the actual cost that we need to budget for. So it's a huge investment. As I said in earlier debates and contributions, that the budget that we have is still, in my view, it's still insufficient. But the good news is we are progressing. We are progressing from last year and this year, considering that health is very important for this country. And I'm very acknowledged to all of you for continuing to raising issues here. So for looking budget, why have we increased Lo Malaita compared to other provinces in the budget support, as well as in the recurrent, and of course if you go province by Lo DB, it is because of the population. It's because of the population of the MI. From our health information system, we capture the data that we are now budget and by caseload high, so we will put to more financial resources to him. But to really do an independent Solomon Islands survey or diagnostic survey on cost, actual cost, we are not doing it, but we're taking your advice. That's another one. But then we have to invest more resources in it to actually do the actual costing for us. Secondly, for the paper to CMCC, thank you for your recommendations. I'm taking note, and I will essentially pass this request to my senior executive management, and then to the cabinet, and then to the parliament. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And without explanation, let me now put the question. Sorry, Honourable MP for East Arare.
Thank you, Chair. I just simply rise to join the Minister in thanking our partners, Lord, this fella, big supporter of the Give Him Come for Health, and also for your advocacy in terms of reaching out to our partners. Budgetary support is definitely something that they've been needing for compliment him recurrent and for your own operations. So I appreciate very much your breakdown from now. Our partners blame me where I contribute them, and it's a great thing. So I totally support you. Also education. You to follow main ministry here. You to follow Baro doing good work and seeking funding to support your respective programs on behalf of all people who is Rare. And of course, as chairman of Foreign Relations, me Baro, thank you to us hard work in securing all of this, and also for our partners for joining us and partnering with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable MP, for his RR. Honourable Minister, asking assurance.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, MP, for your encouraging words. Yes, indeed, as the Minister of this Essential Service, you know, obviously good to work up what's next for me. It is a very difficult ministry to actually look after, but I know that I'm not alone. All of you are supporting me, whether it's through questions here for directions, whether it's through comments. I do sincerely acknowledge all your support for the health and medical services, and to my cabinet and colleague ministers on the side of the House. Thank you as well for your wisdom and vision when I took all the issues to cabinet for your endorsement and mandate, and also to the members of parliament who are joining the government. So I really acknowledge these MPs for the 12th parliament for your support. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Let me now put the question. The question is that 53,685,425 dollars for head 09 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $53,685,425 dollars for head 09 now stands part of the schedule. Next head under the budget support is head 17, Ministry of Provincial Government and Institutional Strengthening. And the question here is that the sum of $54,030,381 for head 17 start part of the schedule. Honourable Minister, perhaps you can explain, elaborate on the provisions of the budget support, and then questions will be directed to you, to your presentation. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The budget breakdown or summary for budget support are as follows. One, funding from integrated economic development and community resilience, which is 39,799,736. The second one is from the United Nations Capital Development Fund for local. It's $13,779,125, and the third one is Governance for Resilience, UNDP, which is $400,520, which equate to 54,030,381. So that's basically the summary breakdown for the donor funding towards the Ministry of Provincial Government and Institutional Strengthening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments on that? Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just the subventions and grants under law, Integrated Economic Development Community Resilience Project, 18.7 million, and then Governments for Resilience, another 13.8 million. Minister, a little bit clarify and come on how grants call who, and how is it allocated? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. If my friend can, thank you, Leader. If you can point me to the head that your question is referring to. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Hemilo, page 344 and 345 law bricks. Budget support. Baravalo bottom lo 344, yeah. Subventions and grant. I mean 18.7 million there. So that one lo first. Out of that 39 million, 39.8 million. And then government for resilience, lo top, lo page 345. I mean another 13.8 million.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. The governance for resilience, government for race of UNDP Fiji, this is an ongoing PCDF Gulf for race allocation of UNDP base law Fiji program and carried forward to this current year. That's for the governance for resilience.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, and was we narrow on 18.7 million law under the integrated economic development?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader. This is the annual PCDF allocation for 2026. There is a difference because in 2025 we transfer the allocation for 2024, 2025, and 2025-26 in the same fiscal year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable MP for his choice of first.
Thank you. Maybe Minister clear income consultancy fees. I think this you add them together, it's about $18.6 million. Maybe ministers have a clear income. What are those consultancy fees, and when are you engaging with?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, MP, for his choice. For consultancy fees, this is in relation to about 173 ward support officers contracted ended in October 2025. In 2026, there would be no budget allocation for these officers. So consultancies such as follow-up surveys, mid-term review of the project, standard designs, BOQs, consultancy for ward profiles and PCDF, review consultancy. These 6 consultancies will not paid for in 2026, hence the drop. So mostly the consultants for will be geared towards standard designs, BOQs, and ward profiling. So towards all the programs here,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Honourable MP for his...
All right, well, the ministry is called institutional strengthening too, so I think probably that's the aspect of and also when the conferences and seminars and workshops, I think $5 million there to what now is involved then who now what people can come for conferencing.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms. Choice. training activities for 2026 would be reduced because of the use of Zoom and virtual training that we use for most of the training instead of face-to-face training that require travel and accommodation and DSA payment. So that's why basically that's reduced this one, because this time by engaging more virtual.
Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. So just in terms of the PCDF, it's been proven to be quite a successful modality of delivery of development services, and it's incentivized scheme. As you know, sir, me golo renolu mitwala member blo South New Georgia, then him barab jump inside lo lake tenganoye, him let's for come out now. I'm like Daivam Tilapego mitol holem come back. You all must take the opportunity to go visit. By in time PM, Minister of Province, you must go. You must go to Simlo Lake. But a nice street. But one of the things I had heard it before and I didn't realize the extent of the issue. But one of the things was raised to me in a number of the villages that I had consultations to him is the fact that provincial assembly blow renbel. Once out elected, what comes up low meetings blow provincial assembly lo somewhere lo honiara, meetings blow executive lo honiara. This is not just an anomaly. This is the modus operandi. And I mean, if you want to run a province from Honiara, you might as well not exist and let the ministry run it. So it's a really serious problem, but it seems the ministry has allowed it to continue to perpetuate. And so any problem. So when people want to see their provincial leaders, they have to come to Honiara. It's really a problem. So this is not an accusation of the Premier or his executives. It's just been allowed to be like that, and him really unfair law. People are there. Of course, they cite transportation difficulties and remoteness and also, but Temotu and Choizo could cite similar excuses as well. We want provincial assemblies and provincial executives to be in their provinces, providing leadership and governance in the provinces, not from afar by remote control. So I'm just thinking how you do that, whether through an incentivized system to lure them back or through their entitlements, personal entitlements, or you come down hard. Perhaps the Minister could inform committee what action by taken on this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Leader, for raising that concern. It is a challenge, I'd say, for the ministry. We have time and again provided representation to the province, advising them to be stationed at the province. Until today, it has been still a challenge. But the good ministry have provided representation to the province, advising them that all the officers, MPs, or executive must stop na lo province. Whole meeting lo province. So I think two representation go finish here with all due respect. We will send another one first quarter next year. If I got fail for continue for no adhere no got advice here, then ministry by no gare many option. It was to provide them room for compromise law there. I think the PGA Act here have clear no more. In the event that default law there, the ministers have a goal of cabinet for suspension, which you may not like doing. So you may still try our very best to embrace them, hold them, telling them that look, we have proper assembly, backlog provinces, you know there, and you first should stop. But the common response what a good leaders Bayumi or province Bayumi they are nice there because they don't have that kind of service, luxury also in Honiara Garden. That's why I was opted to come and stay here because they want their children to attend better school here, good lights here local. I'm not a common one. So by you miss over here and that sometimes he ask so when I will stop you as a whole meeting on ward 11. I might say ward 11 yeah, I'm from White River 9. So it's a challenge indeed. So thanks for raising that. Like I said, our ministry is working. We have provided representation. Once them come no good now, then the last option for you utilizing by Operation Blow PGA Act. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Leader.
Yes, I would urge the Minister, put your foot down. I mean, the fact that it's continued for so long is really just nonsense. And governance requires that both, of course, the letter of the law, but the spirit of the act and the provincial government system is to stop close to the community and provide leadership there. If I would say, oh, no, school now, no good, must stop lo there, walk em good. We'll say, you can stop lo wait river, but you walk em school lo wait river, no good. So I think these are all just excuses. They're really just excuses. You need to put your foot down. And if they're not interested in running it, well, dissolve it, suspend it, and at some stage call for new elections. Run it from the ministry and then call for new elections or something also. So now that you make combine elections, national and provincial, whether what the implications would be for that, but that's something for you to look at. But the situation cannot continue as it is. It is an anomaly. But the fact that it's taken for, it's gone on for so many years, fellow people blow rent bell. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And with that comment, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $54,030,381 for head 17 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $54,030,381 for Head 17 now stands part of the schedule. Head 23, Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources. The question here is that the sum of $6,130,736 for Head 23 stand part of the schedule. Again, let me invite the Minister to explain, elaborate on the provisions for the budget support for the ministry as outlined in the schedule. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for giving me the opportunity for explaining this for the budget support. Chair, me stand up here like for thanking Government of New Zealand for this for two very important program. One fellow had me $5.48 million. And for Macam Solomon strong fisheries. They sent him, support him implementations of the Ministry Work Program for since some years back, and him continue. The next support, budget support is the $6,046 is for supplement being a community program. Preparing what the programs will be on site here. This one we will call them BRAG, him stand for being a regional arrangement of governance. So this one of the project will be where you may allocate the development budget of $103 million here. This group entirely of the deal with every single action will be a project. They deal with land. They deal with people, water. Also, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments, Honourable Leader of Opposition?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate the clarification come from Minister. Just in the BRICS, no including a bit breakdown or get something else, so we're unable to get those details on paper. But we can merely go from that explanation and is scheduled to the bill itself. Just in terms of BINA, sir, what experience blew me this year, for example, this was supplementary 30 million for local jetty, domestic jetty. We recognize that procurement by Mholemi Apollo, so you will go process for doing tenders and what something, but go finish 30 million for wharf, small warfare, BINA, anointing. So then by we must repeat it more next year. So this inefficiency of the procurement system, let me call for perhaps a different modality in terms of approaching BINA or delivering BINA. The fact that already everyone not doing everything come together is a really good way to approach it. But financing and the efficiency of that financing will continue to be a struggle if it's going to be funded straight out of Treasury. So I think I'm something for you all a story good with him. Olketa New Zealand we're supporting him this one, but also with him Treasury. Perhaps there is need for another vehicle to make funding way more efficient. One we know like him is this 100 and whatever million for next year. Him get caught up more also. By the time you come low end low next year, you will have only spent less than half of it. Because the rest of it is still caught up in various procurement processes and so forth. That is a highly likely scenario, and although, we see the ambition, Barabudna, man of action, fisheries minister, but action selling waiting now good. If action dry no more, I go action, but I'm frustrated too. So you need him selling for go. That aspect me. MID also too, man of action too. The fisheries and MID we have to us man to push. So them would know, but financing side we haven't, we haven't arrived at an ideal vehicle for that yet. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Leader. Honourable Minister.
Chair, thank you. Thank you, Leader of Opposition. So the point you raised is very important. Obviously, you should and so before the strong head of Minister of Finance and the Office of Finance makes sure one for accounting must be established. So the time, especially BINA was established so that we put himself in a account. Minister of Finance was doing something wrong with him now, but we have raised this. Every now and then, look at me, tell him, every time we remind him no more. You could them do no more also. And that applies to the 103 million you refer to him. Project by him a little bit slow because of the phase, but the preparation side, I think, in the war for 30 million, I think programs are all in place to go. Just a matter of money no more. Thank you, Leader of Opposition, for raising
the question. Thank you, Minister. For East Arare.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Minister. I think just want to say thank you too for New Zealand. They've been supporting the BINA program for quite a while now, and just the policy issues, like now that BINA, with a big budget coming, 103 million, coming in, and New Zealand is always seen as a small player. But I think just wanted to know the policy of the government with regards to going forward, role blow with the people also in New Zealand, where they've been faithful throughout BINA, despite all the big interest perhaps coming in now. What are you looking role blow? New Zealand in particular, coordinator or what will help it with you in terms of the BINA project going forward? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Chair, thank you, MP for Mr. Harare. So New Zealand been with him this program for some time already. I met with the Foreign Minister and the Minister of Fisheries in New Zealand when I went there, and our discussion was very, very good. They were the Minister over there and a little bit of one aggressive to Minister of Fisheries in New Zealand. So I think the way we discuss things is more or less into supporting each other. So they coordinate the project also lo budget support here, but I think we want them. We want them to frontline in this project here. I think that's the intention. We gave them the opportunity because they've been with us for some time. Okay, New Zealand, you come with your plan program. we will support you in that. So the 103 million actually for Tala Hemna position blow government bring me. So they know our commitment. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Is that comment? Sorry, Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair Naidu. Acknowledge the earlier recommendation by leader of opposition, especially to the government, to the minister or ministry. But Chair, I think going forward, this probably we should come up with a much more delivery model that may help us in terms of the approach we've taken during the Pacific Game, probably a good one too. In fact, we're still waiting for the audit report on that, so that source of helping me to law. But yes, especially with our national project, or big ones that I think we important that we look at the model that not only helping me in terms of delivering the projects, but in terms of how we managing fund, of course, and in terms of helping delivery of time. So as the government is preparing us for the next 3 years, especially for the 50th anniversary, probably something is important for us to look at the model that will help us, especially once we put in funds in the budget. Then I think what the minister is putting to us, of course, the ministry is to look at now for repensing the funding that you may put to law. But I think some of the concern that we continue to work on it, especially the costing and the design, so that then easier for us to. But we acknowledge, and the Minister of Fishery and Leader of to follow same to follow man for action. Yes, I think that's something we. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Sorry, Honourable Leader.
Yeah, thank you. That's a mid-term solution, but for budget 100 over million for next year, you Putum Fisheries Minister, I am not in an awkward position if I am not able to spend all of it. So then we have to keep reappropriating. So I would recommend you move quickly, set up an SOE, Bina Development Company. Buy him go, give him go full 100-something million go inside on quarterly basis or something. Then leave him over now, manage him, appoint a good board, where him accountable to you. And that way, IMSA moves speedily and there's governance around it. And of course, SOE, yeah, you'd follow Minister of Fisheries, keep a close eye on him. And put him out man on New Zealand yellow board, make him over just so that it facilitates the financing aspects and the work program and activities can flow on time, efficiently. Otherwise, we get caught up in procurement and go and lawyer no anything by happen or very little. So that would be my suggestion for the thing around him. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Yeah, Chair, thank you, Leader of Opposition. So the suggestion was good. I think we'll work on that. We'll see how best we can do, but we want a very transparent, board if we to establish any group that will look after and more transparent, because we're dealing with people, and so sometimes people can also, but we could have smart people that they can manage this properly. But your point noted, Leader. Thank you, Chair.
Even with that assurance, let me now put the question. Sorry, Honourable MP for East Malaysia.
Thank you. Just like for asking Minister Nomofo, still on Bina Haba. Just for survey, thank you very much, Minister, hardworking Minister. You see 100,000 for inside development budget play for next year. Just to see what now, Chair, what now several areas we have still hold up Lobina. Still, like some of us say, there is still land dispute. Some of us say areas of some no straight. We just like
Minister, you inform committee number 4. Mifala sabe tu, what na happen lo binaya? Because Chair, I think, Minister, if certain areas are okay already, like coastal for wharf, why not you start, government start looking at this area I'm set, I start build a wharf. Areas remove, people are removing, what now? For what people for move here, some. So we just want to know, can you just explain to the committee chair that what are some of the areas where I'm holding up the progress of BINA? It seems that it's very slow, Mr. Speaker, Chairman. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Minister and Minister of Finance. I think this allocation or request for budget support is not only for BINA. I think you need to expand on that because it's more than just BINA that's covered under the budget support provision that's here, so that the honourable member can know where exactly that question is pointing at in terms of this provision of budget support. Thank you, Honourable Minister, Honourable Minister of Fisheries.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, as the Minister had mentioned earlier, this is covered to develop Program 1 for the BINA Regional Arrangement Governance, which is New Zealand. It's funny, the other one is the strong fishery. That's mainly the truth. But the thing, come back to the question that the leader of Independent, of course, and before East Malitas, probably, Chair, once we come to the development now by and Barafa, you mean Doyle Lodena, because Lodena, so maybe that's my
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Chair, just to add to what Minister of Finance said, so maybe a lot of questions will become, did we by me explain in detail the question raised by the leader of Independent, but for BINA alone, we have a structural plan ongoing, about to finish. And because of the new development, we want to see things that must work. Waguna must go inland with them with the planning and the proper planning also. So, I'm not going to $30 million low supplementary and the $103 million actually by Waka now December I'm going to for Waka. Other selling goes to budget support him only for preparation. Actual work where on leader you talk about him by him actually work next year by Mr. Wakaland. $30 million is there to be used now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Member for East Malaita.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, thank you very much, Minister for Fisheries. Yeah, I asked this question because I just want to know the budget support from New Zealand. What are the activities that has been done in BINA, Mr. Chair? That's why I'm asking these questions.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Chair, thank you, Leader of Independent for raising for question selling New Zealand and what purpose for what. So stuck a work we have done within the actual area down here. So I actually talk with the people now, the people to people work. It means you talk about water, you talk about the movement of people, if they have to move, or some have not selling there for purposely for him. And hope him, I think what the people, good for you, me. If you may understand the decision people, so people can come with any kind of a reason for justifying that part. Even when fellow texts come today, talk about not true land on at all. That's exactly what we're going to expect. So maybe start a story by him come left and right, but actually this money, it does a lot of work on site. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I think the honourable member is correct.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, I would like to thank the Minister. Just want and hope that if that money can move things, that's all I would like to see. Rather than we continue on to deal with same issues always, Mr. Chair. So thank you, Minister. Hope that things will go on well with the program with funding from New Zealand. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Honourable Member, for his time later.
Point noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $6,130,736 for head 23 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour, say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $6,130,736 for head 23 now stand part of the schedule. Last head for consideration of the budget support is head 26, Ministry of Home Affairs. And the question is that the sum of $500,000 for head 26 stand part of the schedule. Honourable Minister, I wish to please clarify, explain, elaborate on what each allocation is for.
Thank you, Chairman. First off, I would like to acknowledge and thank International Organization of UNICEF for the $500,000 budget support. This allocation would be specifically for our Civil Registration Division for its operational costs and printing stationery photocopying. Much of it is allocated for, a big portion of it is allocated for primary software training, health information system coordinators training and associated expenses. Another big portion of it would go for the review of the Civil Registration Bill in development of regulations to support this bill. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments on that head? Otherwise, let me put that question. The question is that the sum of $500,000 for head 26 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $500,000 for head 26 now stand part of the schedule. Honourable members, the question now is that the total budget support estimate of $193,279,481 stand part of the schedule. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The total budget support estimates of $193,279,481, therefore stands part of the schedule. Honourable members, we'll now go straight into the development expenditure. It's part 3 of the first schedule. The development expenditure, we start with head 03, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Again, the approach here would be proceed. Cannot really capture it in the PSC reports. I'll give you a chance for the Minister to explain what exactly is captured throughout the scope of that head. And any questions, therefore, will be raised in relation to the elaboration by the Minister on the provisions for the development budget under that ministry under head 03. So thank you, Honourable Minister. Asking you first time for you explaining what I have covered the development head under head 03.
Thank you,
Honourable Minister, my apologies. I'm jumping the gun, but I should first of all call for the consideration by the committee. The question here is that the sum of 40 million for head 03 to be part of the schedule. The 40 million, that's the allocation under the development estimates for the ministry. So I asking you to expand on what the 40 million would be spent on under the provisions and policies of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. So under the development budget, as you know, it's 40 million. So I'll run through the activities. Well, last year we had a total of 6 programs. This year we've reduced it to only 2. So the development estimate for 40 million covers 1. The agriculture production and enhancement program with 28,316,750. So under that program we have the farmer support, which is 12,533,000. We also have transportation and logistical support, 1 million. 3, the cocoa rehabilitation. We have 2,279,373. It's approximately 3.1 million. The cocoa plantation rehabilitation, 2,279,375. 5th is the coconut rhinoceros beetle and other pests and disease. Biocontrol, we have 700,000. Cover production, it's 800,000. Rice demonstration and development farm, it's 2.5 million. Taro production is 225,000. Oil palm development is 900,000. Piggery farmers support, 700,000. Sunny production, it's 400,000. Poultry farmers support, it's 500,000. The cattle development that's in Isabel, it's 3 million. Support to registered association, it's 500,000. So that's under that first program. The second one is an infrastructure development program. It's with a total of 11,683,250. That would cover the farm shed at Tenaru, it's 600,000. The storage shed also at Tenaru, research center, 600,000. The UXO and 8 works, 12 hectares at Tenaru, it's 1.8 million. Land clearance and preparation work, it's 400,000. The 10-hectare perimeter fencing, 600,000 at Tenaru. Survey pegging and construction at Garanga, it's 1.2 million. There's a security house, the biosecurity office, biosecurity area at Henderson, it's 300,000. And each fencing, it's 600,000. Also, a new incinerator will be installed in Noro Port. It's 433,250. We'll also be building a residential building at Lata, 1.2 million. 11th is the residential building at Noro. It's 850,000. And also 2-bedroom residential building at the Tenaru Research Center. And 13th, we have the Mal headquarter office, 400,000. 14th, will demolition of the Noro office, the Mal Noro office, 500,000. And the Boom Gate and Security House office at Tenaru, 1 million. So that is the breakdown for the 2 programs. With regards to the PAC recommendation, there's a recommendation for 200,000 for each constituency. So you times that with 50 constituencies, 10 million additional. I don't know how that one works, but that's the recommendation from the PAC. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comment on that presentation, Honourable Leader of Opposition?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Me, like Saganomalongo, Sadlo Cocoa, and coconut, obviously they represent some of the quickest gains that can be had. And the hybrid coconut and cocoa, what are we, do we have nurseries to supply it to Olketa farmers? And how long before we start for fruit and harvest, from planting to first harvest? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader of the Official Opposition, for that very important questions. I know everyone is waiting for that question too. As I've mentioned earlier on during the recurrent discussions, now we have funds paid to the ministry. So we will begin with that program on coconut and cocoa early next year, the first quarter. So that's what we will be doing. We will select sites for each provinces to do seed gardens and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Choiso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is on rice allocation there. We note him still on the demonstration phase of the development of rice. This country, when this fellow Koropim started with me for a very long time, Mr. Chairman. So I guess the question is, when are we going to do the real thing? And the emphasis, of course, is in Gorokanal and Malaita. Yeah, so I think that's this first, and I think Gorokanal, one for private, I think the win-win group here was a vehicle farm, Gorokanal Plains, and I don't know how whether the ministry is aware of this and how not ministry involved with Imogata. They are moving this rice farming in a very, very big way, and this is a private sector that will go into rice production. So this one is rice demonstration. So maybe another question, of course, is how many rice farmers now country this time, where now the farmers start low Malaita and Gorokanal. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for his choice for the question on rice. Yes, the ministry is currently doing a trial. I think one fella trial him done already. So we've calculated the rice yields, and the result is very good. So we're looking into expanding that one into Malaita and also here on Guadalcanal. So in Malaita, we will be looking at Mauro and 7 hectares, and Adaliwa land. It's with 14 hectares of land. Yes, we are aware of some private companies that are engaged in rice cultivation. Guadalcanal Plains, Blamilo here, it's win-win. No mas biglan no mo kata doing. Some at the moment, thing you may run with testing to rice from water. It's very nice. We're looking into after trials and we'll just expanding all over the provinces. We'll recommend the variety that would maybe find where high yielding and tolerant low or different situation by Milo countries. So after the trials, now we'll determine the varieties that by me are recommended for mass planting or so. So I'm position by ministry rice production, but there are a few farmers, like Milo Isabel, they are still using the variety under Taiwan, where the Sherem, Lomakira, continue for cultivating rice, and also on top of the Ter, Don Bosco, that fella area where we start doing rice cultivation land. So yeah, some fella got to doing planting at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Choiso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good for it. So the emphasis will still be over the small farmers, rural area. As you know, rice and meat, around $1 million every year. It makes me importing come, and this discussion has always been. We're totally capable of producing our own rice for this country. Of course, we replace the imported rice and most of them. So we take it that the emphasis will be still the local small farmers. As they're thinking about big commercial commercial farm, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for this result. Yes, so what we've done in the past, and it's still happening, and not small farmers, yes, so it's not mechanized farming. So what me fella trial on this time for finding the right variety. Over time, soil blame him change, climate change him come, a lot of things changes him happen. So we have to find the right rice when fella recommend him for the mass planting, and it's commercial. So you're talking about tractors, dealers, and every machine and for come. And position the ministry will be taking, and we're happy that under the MOU that we will sign in with them, Jiangsu Academy of Agricultural Sciences, we've been able to have the technical support in come, so their rice specialists have come, their soil scientists have come. So we will continue with the new planting next year. Look at different sites where we mentioned Malaita and also plains. So after you may go through how many cycles of planting different sites, we should be able to tell them this one a variety by me move for grow for people by the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Malaita.
Thank you, Chairman. Just like Minister for explaining how to buy me go and we roll him out. Now this is support for cocoa and coconut rehabilitation program. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, MP, for East Malaita and leader of the independent group. Yes, so that's what everyone will wait to how we work. We'll try as much as possible for ensure that all the constituencies get supported under this rollout blow. This is coconut and cocoa rehabilitation, replanting, and all those, so that all the farmers all over the country where cocoa and coconuts have grown, they have supported more. So we'll be working closely with our extension officers on the ground for helping Mifala and for finding out which place now for me help out them. But we will ensure that all the constituencies that have fit him, grown coconut and cocoa, support by him, go him. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any other question on the head? Otherwise, let me put the question. Sorry, Honourable MP for Mr. RM, Chair of BLC.
Thank you, Chairman. Lo Katornoma Minister, you left Serum Camp disappointing news normal at the Malaita failed, but the support to the cattle have me cocoa up. Where are we now? Staka protection, number cocoa up or no more yet? Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP West RRF, for your question on cattle. After the two imports that we had from Vanuatu, my fellow ministry no baragaram na proper data as to how many bull macau na in garam throughout the country, but we do have some. So I hope that my livestock officers have come up now with them number of bull macau in garam throughout the country. But under the ministry, we will start to work to finish logo zoruro, the multiplication center blame. So work can start finish for that one. So I'm not going to tell them regarding cattle. Well, on that one, we go back for talk about this replanting and the tiblo cocoa and copra. Me like highlighted now. Our good MP for Minister Blow Fisheries have taken on initiative blame for planting 1 million cocoa seedling na lo Busia. Some of the MPs of the Bingo Golo there finish, Misela Migolo there. So that's one of the things that we should be doing too. He's using his CDF for doing that one. The ministry is supporting him with the technical support. So we assign him to follow officers for go stop with him here now. Stop come lo bush na for help out na lo planting and all this. So that's how we shall do him too for running with things. So ministry him behind him with him this for 1 million cocoa that him ready for planting. Not some fall planted finish. Me witness him and then still continue with him that one. So that's another way of doing it. We will support you or provide him officers for help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. And with that, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $14 million for Head 03 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $40 million for Head 03 now stand part of the schedule. Next head is Head 04, Office of the Auditor General. The question here is that the sum of $1,130,000 for Head 04 stand part of the schedule. You can refer to the committee's report on page 29 to 25 and in the development budget estimates, page 19 and 20 for any comments. But again, let me ask the minister responsible to this outline what's covered under this this development estimates provision. Thank you, Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. As probably, Chair, you note from the summary of key projects and output, this is mainly for constructing a kind of training center or a conference center for Office of the Auditor General, so that they have a whole training for in-house training for staff, and of course for the ministries too, especially on the financial controller or the corporate services that provide that support to government. And so mainly for this, for constructing training or conference center for Office of the Auditor General for doing that one. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comment, Honourable Leader of Opposition?
Yeah, thank you. The amount looks a bit too on the low side, 1.12 million for construction works. Look low here. My other comment, sir, is with regards to whether government property law download there, office buildings here. Time you make a plan, you build for the next 50 years now. You make them go 4-story, no go up now. You know, come down 3, come down. Because space, log place here, and be congested. And other government offices could be housed in such buildings. And 2-story no more, and you minimum areable office building, very small, and this building will be over the car park, embracing all building here. It's quite constricted. Capacity blame for future growth here, and no look very good. So something for perhaps thing around him, sure, maybe the design or construction, with the view to add some more floors later on or something also. You working around it, but the amount looks on the low side to construct. Or what kind of amount here? Usually guard house no more, security house no more. I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. And I do thank the leader of opposition for that important observation, especially that, of course, one of the challenges we face, not only with the Office of Auditor General, but I think government offices, that's something that going forward we look in terms of design, of course, space, so that helping me for really addressing the need, because currently, of course, something that Minister of MID on this plan to also noted that in terms of how we can upgrade the government offices, and of course design that can even accommodate the need in the future. Of course, me also noted that while the need for Office of the Auditor General may be very important in terms of some in-house training, building capacity of the offices, and also including the offices, especially within ministry in terms of audit accounting offices. That's something that this one, of course, I also note the allocation, yes, so something that I can also deal with, especially in terms of this construction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. With that, let me put the question. The question is that the sum of $1,130,000 for head 04 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $1,130,000 for head 04 now stand part of the schedule. Our next head is head 05, Minister of Education and Human Resources Development. The question here is that the sum of $83,700,000 for head 05 stand part of the schedule, and if any member wishes to comment after the introduction by the Minister responsible on the coverage and the scope of the this head for the development of budget under the Ministry of Education. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. For our development budget, as you can see in the bricks, 50,000 for subvention and grants goes to SINU. That one hand, what our ministry is providing for SINU under DB. This year, we'd like to thank him, finance team. A little bit big fight 2 year forecasting, not for doubling my budget. So they have from 16.7 million for the education for infrastructure. Out from that 17.6 million, they've given us 33.7, a big, good increase there. Mainly is to, as you can see, we've got 27 new infrastructure. They are currently already on progressing, only 2 new ones coming on for this year. But for the ongoing ones, and now where our anticipation is to offload or complete 60% of those projects. And once we've got that one, then we should start look for planning for next year for new infrastructure for for especially for SHIN. Coming back to where we discussed today on budget support, it's been said earlier on, the accessibility is our priority now, especially for senior. When Imigarem or the Kamkasin Form 3 during my speech on the budget debate, about 51% going to Form 3, and then Kamkasin Form 6, 41%, and only 19% goes to Form 7. So you see, that's where the bottleneck. So that's that one, and helping me for identifying what the schools going forward. So the increase of the budget, and thanks again to the Ministry of Finance to recognize us to complete about 60% of the ongoing projects there. Equity is an issue. Maybe looking at, if you look at the project here, Malaita province got the bulk of it. Because again, it's quite in terms of equity, population are there. All right? And so these are the kind of schools we like for. This budget will go, and I will make sure that our ministry is on top of things to make sure that we complete the more than half of our project. So that is basically what our budget for Ministry of Education. And also, we've got a funding there for M&E, very important to get our officers to monitor the progress of the construction and to make sure that they must finish on time before you be trying to avoid no start of variation and all this unnecessary. So that is where we have about 600,000 there for M&E to get our officers to make sure that the construction are on track and complete on track as per budget allocated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any questions, comments for the Minister's clarification? Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Milulu Glolistia for Selwyn College. I was recently invited to speak at the graduation. Mitwal Minister Blow, women now Mitwal go. And they have two major issues. One, theft happening over there. Security blows staff and students, so fencing is one fault. But the other is a more structural issue. This river need to be diverted away from school compound. First time hemi rain, hemi come, hemi all come inside the school compound. Bahem no, we ask a man no side lui, bahem no expensive no more. Excavator no more, go digging, rerouting river away from a school compound. So I would ask that you consider those two needs below Selwyn College. Fit him in there somewhere for 2026. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Leader, for those two observations, and definitely we will work with the EP, ACOP, to look at how we can work on those two recommendations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. To the question, Honourable MP for East Harare.
Thank you, Chair. Once again, stand just to support very much Minister and your team for this development budget component. Very much welcome. Focus definitely low infrastructure there. I just wanted to ask, Noble, or policy side, where are we, or what's the direction for what now? Online or using technology, internet, kind of where might a little bit help law. Aside law balancing of some of the infrastructure needs, but of course focusing more on online and studies and how many students now. Go ahead, learn senior this time and probably USB. And what's the direction moving forward on that? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, MP for East Harare. Yes, that is a forward-looking where our ministry is working on, and that's why we are developing the education ICT plan. We have incorporated inside, and that will help our teachers, especially in terms of connectivity and helping, especially reaching out to the rural schools here. And thanks to the Ministry of Communication Aviation for the towers, and the towers are basically a plus for us to make use of those infrastructure we're having to align. So those are with the introduction of AIs and all that, ICTs become very important in terms of our progress alongside education infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any other comments on that before I put the question? Otherwise, let me not put the question. The question is that the sum of $83,700,000 for H05 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour, say aye. Those against, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $83,700,000 for H05 now stand part of the schedule. Next head for consideration is Head 06, Ministry of Finance and Treasury. Again, the question here is that the sum of $49,900,000 for Head 06 stand part of the schedule. I'll give the chance opportunity to the Minister to expound on the provisions under the development estimates, and from there any comments or questions will be raised on this presentation. Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. And just to give some explanation to the committee, especially on the 49 million 900,000 mainly to cover the Ministry of Finance institutional development programs, and that mainly for the new customs office building law Norohemi around 1 million, the 3 new residential staff house, also for providing the support to the customs office in Noro, 6 million, the new inland revenue office building law Honiara, 20 million, SOE capitalization mainly to support the telecommunication company, tower company, 4 million, and also the SIG support to DBSI, especially like I highlight during the wrapping up of the debate on the 2026 appropriation bill, that we support DBSI so that survey alarm, especially those low productive and resource sector for survey access in this funding in terms of the support. And so mainly that's a kind of a breakdown of this 49,900,000. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Chair, PAC, your comments.
Se lo disola Noro Customs Building. I think that is good that we are building up the capacity of customs to be stations within our ports, the international ports precinct. I think that's the way to go. So are you going to do the same too for Leroy Wharf? Are you going to build customs station within the Leroy Wharf? That's the first one. You mark them down. I'll come to the next one more. The towers. Capitalization law, the towers. I thought they are going very well. What are we capitalizing them for? Or the down a little bit, or DPM, when I had the news law, radio, yeah, me barabi to it was just 30 towers in operation. They're hitting in less than 1 year, I think 1 year, 6 months, they hit almost about 6 million. That's good, yeah. So that shows, the flow of traffic, data, and all that inside law, utilizing the towers. But I think you need for, as what the leader of opposition and Talemia, the enabling infrastructure for the operators, to use it. I think if you're going to put that, it's going to really increase in now, the usage below the towers. Yeah, and then I don't think you will need to think about capitalization model next year. Just look at telecom. When you gave all the freedom to telecom, they did very well, I must say. But you control them a little bit because, they are the ones that are controlling the main trunk here below. Something we would that one, you need to work low with that. Me like to comment no more on the BSF because I'm going to go out a little bit time quite early. 18 million to the demand for credit for the whole country is just too small. This is going to sink. Me tell him, bye-bye, we'll just make nothing out of this. I'm not a little bit coming million, tell him, maybe I think what we need to do is to look back at the grants where you push them around every ministry and put them back. Put them back and then channel them come to the BSI. If we are really scouting for resources anywhere normal within our own, coffers, I think that's the way for Yemi for go ahead. But then the next question, I will ask him, recently you have gifted the shares Longo KPL, which me no accept immediately. Me no accept immediately. Yeah. Aye. As a living trustee belong to the people, me no accept immediately. You tell them, come, is it gifted or is it a paid shares? And if it is a paid shares, how much is it? If you say that I'm gifted by ICSI, for the first time, Baba Miharam, ICSI, Baba Hem, I doing that 1 year, a company that has never declared dividend. So maybe you shall explain him, come. How is it gifted? Is it something that Baba later on, Baba you claim, or is just a token number where you announce him number, but then it has never been paid up? Those ones are no more. Same question, may I ask him? Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank the Chair of PAC for that important observation, especially on the development estimate for ministry. In fact, that's a good observation, mainly for Noro. In terms of looking at the similar arrangement with Leroy, I think it's with the cabinet now, especially for after the report submitted to government. So this is some of the ongoing, because Leroy within the vicinity of Honia report, so, and the work that customs is sort of like within the Honia Customs Office, so that's the kind of support that in terms of clearance for the international cargo, which is still within Honia Customs Office. In terms of the towers, mainly the support government is supporting through the Solomon Tower Company for this sites that Chaputum or towers lohem or the land that erecting or towers lohem, that when the support mainly for him, of course, in terms of the company in operation or rolling out the tower by DPM survey once come to the ministries of communication aviation. I think in terms of your third question, that's something that even I was also looking at much more funding, especially because the idea those of want to explore now, because you mean to have a borrow come from 1 to 1.5% or even 0.07 to 1.5%. And so if we sort of bringing a big funding and then input them law through whether DBSI or put them through for private sector law, 3 to 4%, that's something to be really helpful. So that's the idea I'm also looking at now. And so that I'm sure once we dream and put more funding through DBSI, or of course some of the programs that the government have me implementing, so driving the economy. So that's something that of course we note that the 18,900,000 have been not enough for DBSI. Make sure no more lesson la pass lo DBSI me no repeating more. And so we continue to support DBSI with some fund capital now so that they can lend it out, especially through the private sector. We'll, as part of this, some funding also from Ministry of Commerce for supporting too, not only DBSI but SEMA or ICSI. So yeah, that's a kind of support we just overlooking. In terms of ICSI or the KFP awards, now we just putting to people that probably that's a similar approach that we dream with team at GPOL. But I think probably I will provide much more detailed information to the House because probably by me, for now, me not in a position to more detailed information to give much more detailed information on that. So that, yeah, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable. Next, Honourable MP for East Churchill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a new comment on the last project, the SIG support to DBS. I fully support him. I think the comments made, and that's the going into the future. That's the direction for Goya. By me continue for increasing the support to DBSI. We learned this this conference, and a wonderful presentation by the president himself, and the way China move, they drive it through the private sector. So in this country, there are people already good, or they're doing it in a very big way. Cocoa, coconut, cassava, private sector not driving. You may still, of course, the government still connect with the small farmers in the village, in the rural area. So you may still not come out from there. Probably there's some institutional things that you really need to sort them out so that there's confidence gap and competent, of course, competency of a lot of people in the rural area. You bring him up to the level where once you give him salam, you be confident that he will be properly used. And I think the sentiment the minister making learning from the mistake of the past are very important when it comes to DBSI. And before the tension, of course, loan were given. Government no. And DBSI dream role and give more loan. So when it comes, because in bank or government, when it comes to the interest for see that the people who receive the loan or that are successful in business, I'm role by government here. You still need to play that role. So the business advisors, the Ministry of Commerce, for example, and the experts or cocoa experts, a lot of ministries, I'm not working for helping more the farmers. So, but this is the direction to go, and for driving the growth of the productive sector, it is to be driven by private sector. So that's I guess learning from the mistake. We must also, while we're giving out loans, look at the people there. I think we need to strong into the business advisory role that is played by Ministry of Commerce, so that we must continue for visiting more people where taking Bologna, so that we supporting the DBSI, making more people are successful and paying back a loan. So it's normal, but you may repeat the mistake of the past to the DBSI. And we already got them that problem already, and in come 10 on, I'm up in the mother, DBSI completely was out completely. So those are important lessons for learning, but the direction is really welcomed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable People East Churchill, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and I do thank the MP for his choice also for that important observation and recommendation. Yes, that's something that we take it seriously in terms of how we support our private sector through the mechanisms like DBSI. That Chair, I think important as part of our target for UMI grow economy, I think a need for making funding available to our private sector. important, and that's why I'm exploring the idea of we getting a big funding, which is normally government getting at a smaller rate, like 0.7 or 1 to 2%. Yeah? Then if we on lending through DBSI, then but private sector, but especially with ones that are driving what sectors here, like if we look at the forestry sector, low downstream processing here, key players here. Once you may supporting them through this process of on lending for 3 or 4%, but of a good one. That's something that I'm also initially start working on and discussing with some of our institutions that they may borrow from. Of course, the recommendation that earlier that the government should borrow more and encouraging one, which is even by helping me too long, this kind of approach. We note especially strongly that the path from DBSI in the past year, I think the idea here now for you may look key players no more, each sector that what's driving, and the whole process of the value chain here by what now survey because they am part of their role now, like and so that's the intention, and we noted the recommendation by the MP for each choice. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. Just further affirmation, Lord, ting here, Lord, DBSI. But DBSI must become a national bank also. No hold back. DBSI must become a national bank. And he must enter into corresponding banking relationships offshore, so you can do TTs as well. Everything where banks, BSB do, DBSI must grow to do. You may not hold back. Because you may not government national bank, you may care less with him NBSI, go, you may lose control of him. Then this time I would turn around, but by him back every time you go like withdraw $1,000, for what year? So you may must make him DBSI must work good. It is true, DBSI must learn a more lesson, but DBSI big part of lesson, good one. Small part no more, but him of whom no. So of course you must learn him lesson here, lack of recovery. But you know everyone too, lack of recovery. Someone key man too. But ogat money go now. You know man sit down here no more. Ogat money go now. I used to be the auditor, you see, so I've seen information on these things. But most of DBSI was doing very well. So you may not think that, DBSI are no good, you must learn lesson, no repeat it. No more. There were some good things we must repeat. There was the outreach out to the rural areas. And it operated in an ecosystem where business advisory was strong, and extension officers were strong network with him. So there were some things they were doing really well. And of course then SEMA had the buying centers. So all get the projects where ordinary people blame me, take me, get pay back, get me money said government they take loan, no pay back. And they were taking much bigger amounts. Those are the lessons. Governance, now but a key lesson now. But I mean like encouraging me, think big. So 18 million and too small. You really should be talking about 100 million at least, but more. See, agriculture, what something Minister Palem would like doing here, cocoa and coconut. Cocoa sale 100 million, but himself came no more. I mean, himself goal him no more. Coconut another 100 million. That 100 million will turn over in 3 years, will become $500 million very easily. We want to double GDP. In 3 years, we can double GDP. Just from agriculture sale through DBSI. That's the kind of thinking we must do. And go borrow. Go borrow for it. Korea Exim is 0.001%. Japan Exim, same. Go look at money. Ask him, okay. 0.7, may tumas na. So there is capacity to do this, do it well, but get the governance right. That's the key lesson, get the governance right. Reach out look at province here. That's where the potential is, and develop DBSI to become a true national bank, commercial as well as development financing. This thing law, the way the current DBSI is now approaching development financing, by him no unlocking potential of development, no way. By him no unlocking potential of increased commercial activity. So, idea blue minister and me good one is, Chairman. You borrow cheap and on lend. Of course, we've had those lessons law EIB before. So those obviously are key issues. But DBSI cannot be charging the same rates where BSP ANZ dot money charging. By who no go borrow him? And those equity requirements, him same as BSP and ANZ too, most DBSI for what no more. And security same too. There has to be another way to securitize their lending, way that him contextual reality below you him must be taken into account, and therefore that ecosystem must involve look good more or this for a central bank facility for providing guarantee. That amount is too small, and its vision is too narrow. There must be much more. And no central bank, we're talking balance sheet operations here. What are we worried about? Let's really stimulate this economy. Central bank's too conservative in these matters. So I think have a real meaningful discussion within central bank on this one by him good. My final comment, Lord DBSI, sir, is in this ecosystem, incubation is a very important part of him. Thinking look at a woman and look at a youth. They, especially youth, young people, both young ladies and young men, have creative ideas. Let's not allow those ideas to go stale. So there must be some way, both in terms of advisory and financing, that takes on a more, also a little bit nature of venture capital or venture financing. Something also for really stimulating creativity in our young workforce. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and I do thank the leader of opposition that the way to go that the government is looking at going forward. In fact, in terms of the National Bank, that's something that because we are talking with CBSI, especially in our market, there should be currently for Falana Imigaram, especially your commercial banks. We're exploring also the idea of a fifth bank coming in law market, but the thing we with the recommendation for you may revive him the National Bank, something for us to look in terms of supporting with the support that the products that the DBSI have me over law market. I think something that the government can also put policy direction on that, so that can help them to DBSI in terms of the products that are designing. In fact, they already support to youth entrepreneurship, which is we also supporting that. Of course, if we look in different groupings that can help us, especially in participation into the economy, that's something that we can look at. And of course, CBSI can think with the experience that you may learn from DBSI in the past year. That's, I'm sure that going forward, we, especially government, for see the lesson learned and then help us in terms of policy that will help especially with that mechanism in place, including the SOE recapitalization and, of course, low financial sector. So I think we do appreciate the observation and the recommendation that leader of opposition given to the government, and that something will help in terms of the policy direction that the government will do. As recently, last week, also met with the financial sector, that the kind of working together between government and CBSI in terms of fiscal and monetary policy to sort of how we can work together and with the support of a lot of stakeholders so that they can part of implementing government policy. So that something that we are also encouraging to work closely with different stakeholders or different sectors. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Harare.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Minister. Yes, some really good recommendations, observations coming from this side of the House. So really appreciate GNAT looking seriously into some of these. Just on the towers, Noma, in terms of the business model. What na business model here? Towers here set up, then what the providers now we have to how now you call it, rent them or to provide the service. Just wanted to know more clarity on that. Myself, I've been approached to put a tower on my property loan. What's a unit tower? Hey, man, what's a place blue na bara fitim tower now? Then we say, what now by a stop tower? I started to asking about the technical issues now. So what I say, I'm leaving now, you'll find another good place more. But I'm just really concerned about what now business operation model for this. So the idea of renting a tower by, say, our providers, currently Telecom and B-Mobile, isn't that going to put cost back into the users again in terms of recouping, that rental cost again? Just wondering what now business model are there? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair, and thank the Chair of Foreign Relations Committee. In fact, I'm through, bara place beli you know, fitin wa tawa ya. And so, anyway, Chair, the way that this government building of the towers here and finish me giving Golo Solomon Island Tower Company and then hot sabe put them on a lot of providers here for the similar arrangement that me got with him airport corporation company that the government improving at the airport here and then finish me put them on airport corporation. So I mean thing from the minister responsible now to roll him out already somewhere and connected, and so we hope that with the challenge that we face him across the country in terms of connectivity, of course, reliable service and the cost, that's something that we hope is the policy intention for this one. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And with that comment, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $49,900,000 for head 06 done part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $49,900,000 for head 06 now stand part of the schedule. Thank you. We go straight to head 909, Ministry of Health and Medical Services. The question here is that the sum of 70 million for head 09 stand part of the schedule. I will allow the minister to run through and present the what's coverage under this provision, and then any questions thereafter will be directed to the minister's response. Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. First, before I present the development budget explanation, I would like to thank our taxpayers who have contributed to our finances to finance our health. Me like for thanking now all the taxpayers across this country, all the business houses, all the foreign investors, local businesses, and all the people blowing me where waka and no waka, both direct and indirect taxes that contribute to him for me taking now increased budget blow this, and also like for thanking me too or MPs you me but paying tax too, yeah, go consumers tax, and also would like to thank the productive sector ministries for continue to generate money for this country, and also thank you to the Ministry of Finance for your allocation when we bid for this budget. If you look into the BRICS chair, Hemi clear lo there, no more, Imi Karem, the development budget, 16 primary health facilities to be funded in 2026, 33,900,000 and for allocated for primary health facilities. And they are Tataba, Lo Isabel province, hem 3 million. In fact, this one hem milestone budget by Yumi allocating another 2 million comes 2027. All rural health clinics across our country, lo what me for experience, usually runs with 5 million per rural health clinic. Lo Central Kwarai rural health clinic, hemi 3 million. Also milestone by 2027, but if you are looking 2 million more, but I'm appear lo there. Malaita Outer Island Rural Health Clinic, lo Moi, Malaita Outer Island, it is quite distant from Yumi, lo here lo even lo Malaita province as well. Imi like for making one fala lo there. The whole scooping budget, imi 5 million, 3 million allocated for 2026. That means lo 2027 budget, maybe looking at 2 million lo there. Mane Beu Area Health Center, lo Northeast Malaita, hemi 3 million allocated, and also milestone by 2 million by me looking lo 2027 budget. Lo Tasimboko Rural Health Clinic, lo Northeast Guadalcanal Province, this year 2026, next year 2026, it's $3 million. And then next 2027, by me looking now 2 million lo there. Arosi lo Rural Health Clinic is the same $3 million. South New Georgia, hemi 2 million. That is means lo next coming budget by me looking 3 million lo there. Penuna Clinic and Ogata renovation. So our scooping is 1.2 million. We hopefully to finish it in 2026. Parego, hemi also renovation by me finishing as well, and they are in Western Province and East Makira respectively. Waturua clinic renovation clinic and upgrade, Hemlo Central Island Province, hemi 1.5 million, hemi by expected for finish lo 2026. Abu Rural Health Clinic renovation, hemlo Aukilanga constituency. This one him for renovation noma fully by me finishing lo 2026. Mataniko Clinic, hemlo Central Honiara, and also for renovation and upgrades, and 1 million, and by me finishing lo to 2026. Bokona Clinic, hemilo West Honiara, I am also for renovation and upgrade by me finishing 2026. Pangoe Area Health Clinic and 1 million, and by you I expect him another 4 million support 2027 based on our assessment. And then Sage Area Health Center level 1, Low Western Province, low budget for 2026 and 3 million. And if based on our assessment, as we progress the work, BAMF will also factor in the 2027 budget. And then Low Guadalcanal, Central Guadalcanal, 3 million. This one Rural Health Clinic, by me also factor in the 2027 budget, comes 2027 budget, Low DB. Lo Lata Hospital upgrade, lo scooping, hemi around 18 million, you look him 10 million 982 now, and $407. Now you may look him the second level medical, secondary healthcare services, lo Lata now, me fala like for upgrade him next year. And then based on the work, we are planning to budget for another 8 million in 2027. And then Helena Goldie Hospital upgrade. This one I'm not for hospital, but specifically for the X-ray that is previously funded by the New Zealand, but then no completing. And then through our assessment, we will, that is why we will budget in 1.769 million plus. This one for completing now X-ray lo Helena Goldie. Taro lo there lo bricks say Taro TB ward upgrade chair. The wording the narrative is not correct, but the allocation is correct. It's supposed to be the renovation for Taro Hospital. In our question and answers, lo recurrent, me touch him that one. Especially thank you to the opposition leader for approving him 10 million lo there, 10,148,311. Also, this is a milestone budget. We are looking to budget for more than 7 million next year, comes 2027. Malu, second level medical store, you mean like for finishing now this one, it will be completed in 2026. The second level medical store to improve our provincial medical supplies distribution. So one lo Kilufi and then one lo Malu, you look him lo there, the completions of this second level medical store for enhancing now distribution. And then Gorekanal Province Hospital chair, imi look him lo secondary healthcare, him only 500. Maybe committee might ask him, this is only for preliminary work, like geotech and also doing land and also now this one preliminary. I've been waiting for them for the design. They haven't been submitted the design yet, but based on the question and answers where opposition leader you put them this year, I'm responding to your question and answers. So budget committee within the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, we are proactive in budgeting and pushing them to start him now hospital or Gorekanal Province. So that is why you look in 500,000. Nobody think him no more. No more. It's only for the preliminary work. And then comes tertiary. I think one of our answers, question and answer session during this year's session on the maternal ward upgrade, labor ward, yumi, here, NRH, I'm allocated 1.5 million. And if you go look, detail, I think by looking at the Savalas Landlords and consultancy, actually the designs now for that one. So the total for that is 1.5 million. And then comes on the tertiary, 6 million there, hemi operating theater. Once we pass the budget, and then by complete him now, operating theater this next to the emergency. Minister of Health Committee him no mas happy law walling. That should be walling lokopa me must no happy law. So I raise issues against that one. So that's why I would stop Waka. Once we appropriate this budget, then Waka by me continue chair. One now the last one, expansion to National Public Health Lab, hemi also budgeted, low there, hemi 1.7 million. This one basically for repurposing few things inside law public health lab, but for enhancing now trade. So you mean like for upgrading so that they can do nutritional status, look at the exports, blame so that they have a stop law packet, because at the moment we are just doing not able to do some of the taste or nutritional values of the export commodities below Yumi. So hemna about him lab lo there where hemi 1.7 million. Then imi look lo arawas, which is one of the things that imi really discuss him lo recurrent budget chair. This one here, actually for project 500 here for freight, and then 1 million here for doing over the projects under the Arawas, where I'm sure that it may been heavily discussed about him now, lo recurrent discussion. But just to give you a quick summary, Chair, if you look him lo here, that the primary health imi barava focus lohem 16 facilities 33,900,000, and then secondary level care facilities we are budgeting 25,400,000, and then tertiary care, which is only for 2 projects, imi 7,500,000, and then for our support service, which is the National Public Health Lab, and 1.7 million. And then for the Arawas support, 1.5 million. I thank you, Chair, and I thank the committee for listening, and thank you to us, Chairman, for giving me an opportunity to explain the development budget. But again, thank you to the taxpayers of this country for supporting healthcare services below you. And of course, we are also the direct beneficiary to these facilities. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, any comments or questions on the comprehensive presentation by the Minister for this development head of the Ministry of Health and Medical Services? Thank you. There is none. I'm going to put the question. I think it's comprehensively covered, so if any question are asked, perhaps you can ask another date. But in the meantime, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of 70 million for Head 09 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of 70 million for Head 09 now stands part of the schedule. We'll do one more head, and the head 10. Head 09.
Oh, here you go ahead.
Yeah. We go straight on to head 10. Okay, thank you. The Minister of Infrastructure and Development. The question here is that the sum of $146,879,496 for Head 10, Minister of Infrastructure and Development, some part of the schedule. Again, let me ask the Minister perhaps to comprehensively cover what's captured in the development budget, and any question thereafter will be directed to the Minister's presentation. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, so the development budget for under the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development, it covers our obligations to donor-funded projects. It is around 14,230,000. And also various projects under the National Transport Fund, Honera Roads Improvement Works, and then the Guadalcanal Improvement Works, and including Renal Bellona rehabilitation works. Under the Sea Infrastructure and Transport Service programs, we have the construction of a few jetties and wharfs along the in our provinces. For example, we have the Molly Wharf in Choiseul. We have the design and construction of Sigana Wharf in Isabel. We have the design of the Vero Wharf, maintenance works in Gizo. We have works in Atori Wharf, maintenance of Ulawa Ugi, Afio Wharf. I think that's the most important one, Afio Wharf. Namesake Blomi. And also we have a bit of allocation to support the franchise saving, and also the design and scoping of some sort of wharf. And also under our development budget, we have the social service infrastructures, and that's the ongoing works on the MID mechanical test lanes. So we're improving our test lanes. We have all the machines there that are Australian standards, similar ones that are used in Queensland, Australia, but house so we are continuously constructing that. That's also part of the development budget. and also the improvement of our QAC quality lab, and that's the MID, and also thanks to COURSE as well, they've also funded us some machinery, some equipments for that lab as well, and also for a proposed trade test building, and the supply of installation of one of the generators for our office. Before operate come this time generator na no more, so about the drum every drawing block building here got time power off, it start again one every drawing here. So that's that. And also we have economic infrastructures. This covers a lot of roads both in provinces and in Honiara, and also the last part of our development budget is the National Transport Initiative Program for both the increase in shipping and machineries. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments, questions on the presentation here? Things have exhausted. Right, Honourable MP for East Choiso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The welcome allocation for the road for Reynold Bellona. This one, Reynold Bellona Road here. I mean, run from where, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Member of Parliament for East Choiso. It's the 5-kilometer building up to the lake. That's what we're doing. It was allocated in this year's budget, but unfortunately it was slowed down by TPU. We found no get for doing, so we've moved on to next year. So definitely next year we're doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable.
This is where welcome. I think should put in more. The Lake Tegano is just basically a tourism something. It's just gold. Sit down there. That you need to do, and all they need is a road from Lawang to the lake, which is a welcome allocation there. You may 16 as well road now. The other matter, no more, Mr. The Chairman, is this last one here, the National Transport Initiative Program. Is this one now? You make 100 more ship. Members of Parliament and machineries and also, you really need to relook at its sustainability again, Mr. Chairman. I think the way it is, the guiding rule, of course, is for members of Parliament. I think, to register more companies and also, and then what machineries here or ship and register under them. I'm also so. There were instances when. Former members of Parliament losing seat block, and the machines are there now. But the members of Parliament were loose here, but no one they allow machine here for use for fixing motor roads or constituency. And so we really need to look at that. Maybe ship, okay, let's maybe deal with it differently. But what broad machines, Mr. Chairman, I think all the constituency that I'm aware of, for Golkana, for example, for our members of Parliament losing seat, no allow motor machine to be used by the winning members. So maybe we need to think around more how and why we doing that one. So what this project is actually doing is establishing new contractors basically. And what we're going to fight for contract, and also, if I could not take them, machines just sit down like that. But it will be actively used for certain machines here. You'll be able to transfer it to the new member of Parliament when we come. Machine stuff there for constituency now. So maybe just think around that, because the current arrangements really now there are fleets of machines right now that basically sit down no more of the constituencies they got more. You go look at garages or at compound or at members of Parliament or sit down there or no really anywhere. So just a comment there. No, you might need to re-look at the arrangements there, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Member for East Choiso. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Member for East Choiso, for raising those important points. However, I think in some cases there are others who are actually doing good with these machineries. For example, Member for Small Malita,
who every road blows small Maleta and using machineries and RCDF blame. And I think East Maleta as well, who's got machineries and doing. And I think, yes, there needs to be safe guidelines towards how we award this. But I think for any blanketing, no matter that everyone or you make use of it, I think that's a statement that I would beg to differ on, Mr. Chairman. But yes, I think the point you've mentioned, if you have to look good land and assess him, maybe sometimes if we buy more ships than machineries instead of half them, I think that point is well taken care of. But also just to note that this practice has blown past previous administration, so we are just implementing what current policies and what have been practiced over the years. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for Auckland, Leader of Opposition.
Yeah, thank you. So that's why it's just also must look like practice kakam, but you must look like it's part of growth. We must look like. And I would encourage you, give him several machine golo Renault Bellon. Now me look in this one, you will not do him this year. That means the work that's happening there. Member no more hemi doing. It's actually really good work. Hemi make him for float lo seablo no but and work him cement for go down lo bailo lavangu. Hey, you know raw one more. Or a nice one now. Then I got 2-3 hill more. Me go there before me go pass all boat no time no rain. This time you full speed no more. One is cement, put him cement lo every place, you know. So you must give him some machine lo. Make him too expensive for barge, take him go machine go land him contractor and also. So there's actually already a very good contractor doing very good quality work. You know our work out doing lo day. And of course they have very good quality coral too, so hemi barawa help for good. But mining still go ahead. Florida go ahead here. And so, you know, they've made a big contribution to the economy. They do deserve those roads to be done up really well. It's a case that makes itself, you know. So you give him full 7.5 million here, you give him go by machine. Make him do him good him. Round him go lake here, in time DPM go assess him for airport, by airport molo, north side lo lake, northern side lo lake here. Mitala mi wal weekend you will fly. Go dive also mitwal go here. South New Jersey dive for tilapia. By you will go dive. Lake you kasim you know like come back Minister of Tourism and say go hati come back but let's support them. They've made a significant, a disproportionate contribution to the economy and to the state in terms of bauxite contribution, and they get, in return, they get a pittance because they're too far down, they're too small population. I know what the issue also, let's not treat them that way. And this would be one good way to give recognition to them. Thank you, sir.
Honourable Leader, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Leader of Opposition. Yes, member for Renault Belana was a recipient for this year as well, part of this initiative, and we've been supporting him with his works, and not only with the 5-kilometer road and then support of the National Transport Initiative Program, but we are also currently under the LMCP. We are constructing a wharf for them as well. So, Mifala, no forget them. We're trying to distribute it as much as possible. Yeah, so I know Auckland too am beneficiary of this one, 2024 and 2025. So we are looking at how we can support everyone. And like a member for the chairman of PAC, him Talemba, you new tech 25, you not apply now by 26 every new one. So thank you, Leader of Opposition. All the points you've raised noted. We are not, and Milak making clear to the people from Belana that we do not forget them. In that infrastructure, our ministry is committed to making sure that no one is left behind when it comes to infrastructure. Opposition Leader, thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for his choice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You made a question. In fact, there are constituencies that really doing good locally, and we need to commend them. The member for East Guanagal, for example, 67, 70 kilometers of road, doing good. There are others that are unknown. Also, people know Golakana, for example. I mean, what machines you sit down, road bad. Look at the connect, look at the feeder roads and also know there, but machines sit down. And if you may empower him, the current member of our parliament for North Golakana, he's by move. Muslim. So he is deprived of that. Muslim. So that's probably a point, and I think it's acknowledged by the minister. Muslim. So he just really look. And probably the other thing is that remove politics from it. I mean, removing politics from it. Me say also, Mr. Chairman, because me follow about allocating one follow, me follow 2 years. I think last year. And this one because me will government station or then probably the only developed government station in terms of rural constituency development center that is well developed. What we 1% 12 hectares of land. So me will wonder extend him go he need to walking road go out go this 12 hectares of land we will allocating for this one constituency development center and right now we will also talk about converting that to rural training center, Emerson. So we were asking one well, and it was, I think, approved. And then time, politic him work up, looking mona. Emerson. So my advice, just advice, good program, even just quietly removing politics from it, from him. No more by me work said it now. Emerson. So it's no more by me. I mean, serving that purpose now. In fact, this one is very highly political program, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Member of East Choizo, for your recommendations. And yes, those are taken. We've taken note of those, and thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that comment, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $146,879,496 for head 10 stand part of the schedule. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Ayes have it. The sum of $146,879,496 for head 10 now stands part of the schedule. We'll do one more head, at least head 12. That's our head, National Parliament of Solomon Islands. The question here is that the sum of $2,150,000 for head 12, National Parliament of Solomon Islands, stands part of the schedule. Again, let me perhaps ask the Honourable Prime Minister for this head for him to explain what's said, and any questions can be raised to him. Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, very briefly, the allocation here. $2,150,000. The summary breakdown is 1.1 million will go for completion of the fencing project, Lohialo National Parliament. 550,000 will go for consultancy fees relating to scoping a technical work on the fencing project. And then the third component is restoration of the fire alarm system. The PAC does have a number of recommendations with regards to the National Parliament Office, and the senior management lawyer of the National Parliament will work closely with PMO and of course Finance in terms of some of those recommendations relating to infrastructure, including the need for digital infrastructure National Parliament. But for this project, it's basically relating to, as I've said, fencing project, consultancy fees relating to the fencing project, and fire alarm system. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Any comments, any questions on that head? Thank you, Honourable Leader of Opposition.
Olketa solar panel lobiene. One to valog it's still in Tunisia, but every panel stop here. You mean for cutting power bill can some work go load that one for you miss using again? I understand that no longer is connected or any no worker or something like that. Could we get some clarification?
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Leader of Opposition, for that important observation and comment. I don't have the exact answer with me, but the senior management lawyer, Parliament, will, if they could enlighten us on this later, as to what's happening to those solar panels and how can we utilize them, noting that probably one or two panels probably have already been missing also. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Any further comments? Otherwise, let me now put the question. The question is that the sum of $2,150,000 for head 12 stands part of the schedule. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $2,150,000 for head 12 now stands part of the schedule. I think we'll have one more at least. We have enough time. I want to interrupt the committee by 1 o'clock, but go straight on to at least one more head. Head 13, Ministry of Forestry and Research. The question here is that the sum of $10,636,000 for head 13 stand part of the schedule. Again, the Minister, please you expound on the provisions that are captured in the development estimates, and any questions thereafter will be directed to you for your comments and response. Thank you. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, under my ministry, we have two key activities are there. One is downstream processing program, and then, of course, sustainable logging development program, which is captured under the budget. For downstream processing program, we have allocated $6,310,000, and then for sustainable logging development program, $4,326,000. The summary is there. Under the downstream processing program, $1,300,000 is allocated for expansion and upgrade of Henderson Timber Yard. $300,000 is allocated for support on consultancy works. $800,000 for outstanding freight payments. That's for freight on subsidies for timber producers. Number 4, purchase of new land for Wata Timber Yard. That's $1.5 million. $300,000 for market exploration and promotion. $1.8 million. MEGO for assistance to timber producers and furnitures. And monitoring and evaluation, $310,000. Under the Sustainable Logging Development Program, Forestry Review Act, as we touched on here, maybe now before Cabinet, $200,000. SIG obligation, $1,275,000. Forest Services and Reforestation Subsidy, $645,000. National Red Plants Land Use Assessment, $150,000. Botanical Garden Protected Area, that's $226,400. Botanical Garden Infrastructure Project, $1.249,600. And Botanical Garden Waste Management, $60,000. And finally, Forest Research Division Development amounts to $520,000. That's for the Sustainable Logging Development Program. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any comments, questions on the head? Honourable MP for East Malaita and leader of the Independent Group.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Which is like a Minister for Informal House Committee on the Botanical Garden Protected Area. So what people be building house inside of there, so just for Minister Informal Committee, whether Otaya or Wakaman Law forestry, or people just go and build normal, which is like a minister for informal normal. Since that place me Kamani put them as one protected area where no anyone for him stay inside that full area. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable MP. Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader of Independent, for the full question. Yes, it's a great concern for the ministry. We have noticed that there are people building other construction of buildings within the botanical garden without authority law of the forestry. So they are trespassing into government land, and we are seriously considering appropriate actions for our taken. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Minister. Any other comments? Thank you, Honourable MP for Small Malaita.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mino heran good noma this infrastructure project law. Botanical garden noma for Minister Hemtal what hem house or hem fence or thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for Small Malaita for the whole question. Yes, as we alluded earlier on last time, the Ministry of Focus law try for improving the botanical garden. So we are looking at fencing, doing proper fencing and proper roadings, and also clean up a lot of areas here. So there are lots of work that needs to be done within that whole area, including now proper fencing, because we know people are trespassing into the land too. And so that needs a lot of improvements there. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable MP for East Tresor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, just for Mr. Reforestation subsidy. Forestation very important worker. Another $645,000 will be utilized, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Yes, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, MP, for asking the whole question. It's a very small amount compared to the needed work under reforestation. But we have small segments within the communities. I think there's less, I stand to be corrected, but there is allocation on certain hectares of land by doing reforestation. Got proper information on that. Of course, there's need to put more budget on reforestation. It's a need for my ministry. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Any other comments? If not, I'm going to put the question. The question is that the sum of $10,636,000 for 13 stand part of the schedule. Those in favour say aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The sum of $10,636,000 for 13 now stands part of the schedule. Thank you. I will now interrupt the proceedings of the committee and we'll resume proceedings after lunch. And I will only give half an hour for lunch because we have to complete this process before the end of business today. So I suspend the meeting until 1:30 p.m.